I welcome you all to Manu Law Classes, The Hindu Delhi Edition Newspaper Current Affair Analysis. In this particular video, we will start our discussion with the very big news that African Union will soon join the G20. So as till now, only European Union was there and it was a regional body which was there in the G20. Now African Union as well as European Union both will be a part of G20. African Union is a 55-member body and it has been cleared that it will soon join G20. But still there is a doubt that whether it will be named G21 after the addition or the induction of AU or not. It will remain G20. This is the biggest question right now. It has not been clear, but yes, it has been said by all the Sherpas meeting that African Union will soon be a member of G20. So this is a very important news. Moving further toward our next important news, that is about Delhi. As it has turned a venue, we all know that G20 summit or the leaders summit is going on in New Delhi from 8 to 10. So here basically there is a dialogue which will be there on reviving the Black Sea Grain Initiative. We have already discussed about this particular initiative quite since a long time, that Black Sea Green Initiative was between Russia and Ukraine and it was brokered by UN and Turkey. And here the initiative aimed to allow the access of free and the safe passage of these grain from the Ukraine, as Ukraine is the grain bowl of the Europe. So here basically this particular initiative was signed earlier, but after as the Ukraine attacked the Kerch Bridge, this particular initiative was, as Russia took itself out of this initiative. So here now there has been a news that as the G20 Leaders Summit is going on, so all the important leaders, that is the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, apart from that the Turkey President Recep Erdogan, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, these all will be the present in Delhi. So there is a upcoming that soon they will talk on the Black Sea Green Initiative and they will discuss that what can be the major outcome, what can be signed, and can this particular initiative be revived or not. Okay, moving further toward our next important article. Here the High Court suggested that conversion plaint only by kin of the affected. So here under the Uttar Pradesh Prohibition of the Unlawful Conversion of the Religion Act 2021, under this particular act, the Allahabad High Court said that only the related to the person, for example, a person is there, so only those person who are related to him can basically come and they can file a case against this conversion. So those who are converted, those person who has been converted, his parents, his spouse or relative, or the converted person himself, they can file complaint in such cases. No third party can just come and file the case. So this was an important news. Moving further toward our next important article, that is coming in from the India-ASEAN relation. So here Narendra Modi presented 12-point proposal to expand India-ASEAN relations. So here Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday presented a 12-point proposal to expand the cooperation between India and ASEAN. As we know, the 10 countries of ASEAN, they are having a great relationship with India and usually they meet, they had discussion. So in that discussion only, our Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he said that they will extend the cooperation between India and ASEAN in various fields which include connectivity, trade, digital transformation, and he called it as a building of rule-based order post-COVID-19 in the ASEAN-India Summit. So this is a very important news. This 12-point proposal is very important news. What you have to learn from the facts or from the basics is that what is ASEAN, when it was formed, in which year it was formed, and what are the members of ASEAN, what are the name of the 10 members of the ASEAN and their countries and capitals. These are the important static knowledge which you should know. I have already covered it in many DNAs, and you can just go and refer to those DNA, and apart from that, you can also read about it. Now here, Mr. Modi also announced that there will be establishment of the multimodal connectivity and economic corridor which will link Southeast Asia, India and West Asia and Europe, and he offered to share New Delhi digital public infrastructure with the ASEAN partners. And this proposal included Prime Minister call for collecting fight against terrorism, terror financing and cyber disinformation. As we know, Myanmar and India border is quite porous and it is making the drug trafficking, human trafficking, terrorism related issue very easy as the borders are quite porous. So that's why in this particular summit here, in the summit, it has been said that all the countries will take action against all these issues regarding terrorism or terror financing. Now, he also addressed the East Asia Summit in a forum in which Asia and Pacific region will deal with the issues that is related to the security and defense. And here, they will put on their sovereignty and territorial integrity of all the nation as India believes a code of conduct for the South China Sea, as said by the UNCLOS that no specific country has a right over the South China Sea. So India also addressed that issue. Moving further toward our next important article that is coming in from the state section, and here we will discuss a very important news about the tram. As we know, tram which is there in the Kolkata, so it is the future of the iconic Kolkata tram. It depends on the Kolkata High Court and the expert committee as set by the Kolkata Tram Users Association, which is a part of the committee. They plan to hold a protest in the college street to demand more trams in just 3 routes that remain functional. So this is been in news. Kolkata tram are very famous, and here they are demanding for 400 plus trams and saying that it will be definitely benefiting the state. So this was about this whole article. Moving further toward our next important article, here there is a news coming in from the state section, and here it is being said that Indian Coast Guard has rescued 10 stranded fishermen at sea. So what is the name of that Coast Guard ship? It was Ayush, Indian Coast Guard ship Ayush. It rescued fishing boat of IFB Ganpati Perumal in the area, in this particular area. Okay, so this is very important. And also the Coast Guard ship Ayush, it arrived at the location earlier, which provided necessary logistic and medical assistance to all these ships as well as the nearest port in the Vishakhapatnam. Okay, this was about this whole news. Moving further toward our next important article that is about the leopard which has been captured in the Tirumala footpath. Tirumala, as you all know, that it is a very religious place. Through that footpath, people go to temple, a very great pilgrimage site in the South India. And here, leopard usually come, they have been captured. Apart from that, there is also a news coming in from the Bandipur Tiger Reserve. So here, the illegal construction in the eco-sensitive zone and the buffer zone of the Bandipur, it has been addressed. As we all know that Bandipur area, Bandipur Tiger Reserve is a part of the Elephant and the Tiger Reserve, and here it is a part of the Elephant and Tiger Corridor, and this area is eco-sensitive in nature, and hence this particular area needs to be conserved, and that's why there has been a news. Our next news is about the Idukki Dam. So here there has been a news of the major security breach which has been reported near the Idukki Dam. So we will discuss in brief about the Idukki Dam. It is basically a double curvature arc dam which has been constructed across the Periyar River. So just remember Periyar River पे ये dam बना है और ये एक basically छोटा सा gorge है between the two granite hill, as you can see over here. This is a very beautiful scenario and it is locally known as Kuruban or Kurathi in Mariapuram village of the Idukki district in the Kerala. It is 168.91 meter dam, and it is one of the highest arc dam in Asia. This dam was constructed along with the two other dams at the Chiruthoni and the Kulamavu, and together these three dams and the two saddle dams, that is the Kulamavu saddle dam and the Kulamavu saddle dam right bank, it has created an artificial lake in the area. So this is very important news. Just remember, this particular dam is on the Periyar River and it is a double arc or double curvature arc dam. Okay, and it is very beautiful in scenario. Moving further toward our next important article that is coming in from the editorial section. So here we have a news about language. So in this particular article, the important fact is, which the author is highlighting, that first it is saying that English is a language, or having a common language is very important for communication or for uniting the people. And then the author is saying about a index or a language index which is there. So what is important for us is this particular index, that is the index of linguistic diversity. So here this particular index tries to understand the trend of over past 30 years in the number of the mother tongue speakers of the world languages. For example, if I have a mother language, suppose I have a mother language of Mathli and I speak Hindi as well as I speak English. So my mother language is this one. So it basically, this index of linguistic diversity, it will try to analyze or understand the trend of the past 30 years of the mother language, number of mother language which is being spoken in the world's language. So here it is just taking into account the mother language which we speak. So there is a language diversity index where the probability of the two people selected from a population at a random, and based on that they will basically, those who are having different mother language, they will select that. For example, if I am a Mathli speaker and someone is a Punjabi speaker, so we have different mother tongue and here there is a diversity. So it ranges from 0 that everyone has the same mother language. For example, if I say in the northern India, Hindi is there, Hindi everyone speaks. So this can be a common language, and if everyone is speaking Hindi as their mother language, so the diversity is 0. But if we have different mother language, for example, I have Mathli and other one have Punjabi, so here there are two people who are not having same mother language. So basically this index take into account the differentiation or the diverse mother language. So those countries, there are countries that have smaller number of mother language, they will have lower LDI, and those countries which have a larger number of mother language, they will have larger LDI. Okay. For example, United Kingdom has an LDI of 0.139, whereas India has an LDI of 0.930 in India. Okay. So here, United States in America, it is English. In UK, it is also in English. But because of the entry of the significant migrant, this LDI is increasing, but it is not very much high. So three least LDI countries, they are basically Haiti, Cuba and Samoa, while the top ranking three country where there is a lot of mother languages, that is the Papua Guinea, Vanuatu and Solomon Island. So just remember, only this much of information is important. And apart from that, a very much important data which has already been given here is that according to the UNESCO, 42 language in India are heading toward extinction. Like those people who speak this language, they are less than 10,000 people, and soon when they will also die, there will be no one who will speak this language. So there are 42 such language which is heading toward extinction. So this was about this important article. Now we have news coming in from the Debit Summit, that is about the Japan Republic of Korea. It is a strategic partnership of the three traditional allies, and here the Camp David Summit is going on, and this Camp David Summit will be between the South Korea, Japan and US, and it is a trilateral meet, and here India is also concerned. So the summit will basically work for a development or a regional development of AUKUS, Quad and Chip 4 alliance, and here along with that, these basically the third also mark that there is a strategic shift of the Seoul traditional approach for not offending China, and also there is an importance of the as the Republic of Korea wants to join the Quad, but it has not been entered in the Quad. So this is an important upcoming that through this particular summit, there will be soon in the next year, we can see that South Korea will soon join it. Now, also the South Korea will have a foreign policy enthusiast, and it is also making that South Korea a pivotal state, and also there is a initiative or there is a program which will benefit India in the defense matter, in the civil nuclear matter, which will help both the countries to grow. Moving further toward our next important article that is coming in from the text and context section. So here the news is about a guideline which has been issued by RBI, and they are allowing borrower to switch from floating to the fixed interest rate. What is the difference between that? The floating interest rate or the fixed interest rate, in terms of fixed interest rate, those who do not have, they do not have to change their tenure, like the rates don't change in their tenure, while in case of floating interest rate, they are subject to market dynamics and the base rate. So these things changes, okay? But in the fixed rate, it remains the same. So here the borrower will have an option to switch. In case of they are having fixed exchange rate, they can switch to the floating one, and this will allow them to switch to the loan tenure. This has been a new guideline which has been issued by the RBI. So here the lenders will basically transparently communicate with all the relevant charges and all the administrative cost, and they will have a clear communication with regard to this switch. Moving further toward a important article that is about the heat index which has been in news. So Iran experienced extreme heat index with a heat index of 70 degree in August, and there has been a news that this heat index is always in news, that many people face problem because of this heat index. So what is heat index? If we go into the details, so it is also known as apparent temperature measure which basically human feels. For example, because of the humidity, sometimes we feel discomfort. So on a similar note, this is an index which take into account how the human feel. And this index was coined by Dr. Robert Stedman, who developed this complex formula in 1979. And here he took into account the factors like the dew point and the atmospheric moisture, and that on that basis, he basically measured the heat index. It causes heat stress, heat-related health issues to the humans. Toward our next important article that is coming in from the international relation, and we can see that in the next year Republic Parade, the Quad leaders will join the parade, as it has been there has been discussion regarding the same. Now, moving toward our next important article, which is coming in from the world section. So here, the UK, United Kingdom, will rejoin the European Union Science Research Program. So Britain will soon rejoin the European Union $100 billion science sharing program, Horizon Europe, and the two Souths announced that. So just remember about this particular important initiative, which is being signed by the European Union and the UK, as you join it. So this is all for today. I hope you like this lecture. Thank you, everyone.